live and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D-Real coming at you with another Be Real with D-Real, where edutainment is what I do. Morini, and welcome to another show. I have questions with regards to Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Questions, queries, inquisition. I'm going to speculate about what I think the answers may be, but ultimately, my answer may not be the answer. And the answers you give may vary. All of this is opinion based, okay? If you want to express your opinion, you can do it in a respectful way. No respect, no opinion. Make sense? All right, now before we get off into it, I need y'all to do what you always do for me. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D-Real page so that when new material comes out, you get it. If you're digging what a brother's shuffling, put some dirt in my bucket. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the page. Okay. I had questions. I got questions. Okay. First of all, the movie just completed its opening weekend, and I think it did about 350 million, and 700 or something million will be considered a win for the folks at Marvel. Like we said, may not make $1 billion. Don't know. I'm not a professional number cruncher. I have questions. Like I said, a lot of different things happened in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. A lot of different things that, from what I understand, very, very, very deep questions need to be asked. My first question off the top, and I might make this a top 5, who knows, maybe not. Is T'Challa and Nakia having a son considered a recast? Okay. A lot of people say yeah. I guess we have to think about what the definition of the word recast is. Now, the definition of the word recast is to allocate the part in a play or film to a different actor. I just answered my own question. Maybe I wasn't just asking that question for my own edification, because edutainment is what I do. Toussaint is not T'Challa. He is only T'Challa in name alone. Okay? Martin Luther King Sr. was not Martin Luther King Jr. Two different people, though they share the same name. So for those people who are being snide and smart alecky and arrogant and condescending when people say recast T'Challa, technically Junior flipped ain't a recast. So when regurgitating information you've heard or seen other people espouse, please do your due diligence and check out the meaning of a word. Okay. Now, in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, the Wakandans are getting their asses kicked. Something terrible. Now, is it by an alien force? I mean, technically, Atlanteans could be considered aliens. You know, they're alien to the human race. But Are they technologically superior to the Wakandans, who we have heard on more than one occasion is the most technologically advanced nation on the planet? So you're telling me people riding whales, singing songs, and throwing bone spears with vibranium tips on them is a superior force? That's a superior force. Okay, we know what the Wakandans have, and we know what the Wakandans have provided. So would the United States Army have a hard time fighting 100,000 Vietnamese people out in the open with spears? No, they to build up drama. I mean, okay, we got to draw this movie out. It's hella long, so we're gonna make them have a hard time. I mean, I get it. Namor is Hulk level strength, but at the same time, it should just came down to the Wakandans and Namor, because I don't really see, the other Wakandans. I mean, the other Chalokans, Atlanteans, whatever you want to call them, seem to, at their base level, only have, maybe slightly superior human strength. Okoye was able to best him. M'Baku was able to best him. So I don't see, maybe Atlantis. I want to call them Atlantis. I keep wanting to call them Atlantis. Maybe the Tolokans' technology should have been a little more, less primitive, and maybe that would be more believable. At least that's my thought process. That would be a more formidable foe. But I mean, Namor is probably enough, right? Okay. Now here's here's a question I know a lot of people have been asked. Does the heart-shaped herb bestow fighting skills? Okay, because it's bleeding out all over the place. We getting scenes of this and scenes of that and scenes of the other. But there's a scene in there where Shuri and Namor are battling, and Shuri don't look like the Shuri we saw in Black Panther and Infinity War and Endgame. That Shuri is gone by the wayside. She's flipping and she's throwing hands and she's doing karate kicks and somersaulting and flipping through the air and doing all manner of advanced combat techniques. But in her previous appearances in a fight, all we saw her doing was pew, pew. That's it. She pew everybody in every movie. But now, Wakanda Forever, she come out and she's just Elektra, for all intents and purposes. So when did she have the time to gain fight skills that gave her the ability to take on Namor one-on-one? I can learn jujitsu for months, even years, but that does not give me the skill to take on a black belt or an opponent who knows how to fight and is stronger than me. Not to mention one with 700, 800 700 years of fighting experience. So a little teenage girl in a suit, a small teenage, well, maybe she ain't a teenager, but teenager, however old she is, she taking on somebody who could very well give the Hulk or Thor a hard time in a fight. She's taking on that, you know. And now here's the thing: if there was some training somewhere in between Endgame and Wakanda Forever, that would have been some helpful information, you know, right? But as it stands, plus, you know, she's not an imposing presence. So that further reinforces my thought process of, I don't believe that. I don't believe that for 1 second. And I guess it doesn't really matter what I believe. They done put it in the movie. They did it. But like I always say, just because you can do something doesn't necessarily mean that you should. And I think just making Shuri this kick-ass being out of nowhere. I mean, you know, and we can always explain it off and say things like, well, it's a comic book movie. You have to suspend your belief. Have that same energy. If that's your explanation, have that same energy when it's coming back at you in the other direction. Okay. I guess during the movie, there was a strategy that was decided. Okay, there's a device that can detect vibranium, and the Atlanteans can detect this device. So, in order to effectively fight the Tolokans, whose home turf is water, we're going to set a trap for them in the middle of the ocean. Not good strategy. If the Tolokans can detect vibranium detecting devices, can they only detect them on the water? And wouldn't it have been more to your advantage to have a vibranium detecting device on your ship headed back inland? Why would you face the Tolokans on open water? I get it. You were baiting. It's a trap. They took the bait. But that's the only way you could think of strategically to lure the Tolokans out. And ain't the Tolokans trying to wipe you out anyway? Why don't you just wait in Wakanda and face off with them then? I don't know. Maybe I am overthinking this. I don't know, but something about that just don't sit right with me. It doesn't make sense. I don't know, or maybe it's just sort of a. I guess we supposed to overcome all odds and that sort of a thing, you know. My number one question. Well, I ain't gonna get to my number one question. This might be a not as important question, but it's kind of a cursory question. Why in this movie is Queen Ramonda coddling Shuri? You let Shuri go fight aliens that I would wager are far more deadly and dangerous than the Tolokans. But you freaking out because you're going to America. Ramonda became a helicopter parent. Wow. Got it. Okay. You've lost your son. You've lost your husband. I get that's plausible. I get that makes sense. But you should have been like that when she was fighting aliens that were invading Wakanda. I don't know. Me as a parent, if I got a child that I know can't fight, I'm not letting her fight anybody. I'm not definitely not putting her in a situation with somebody I know can whoop her ass. So, and all you got is pum pum. Nah, you ain't even coming out of the palace. Period. Stay in here. If you don't stay here and work with this android, you're going to have to worry about me. And I get it. Corvus Glaive came into the lab and she had to do what she had to do and she got smacked up. You know what I'm saying? Where was Ramonda in this situation? It was Ramonda holding the spear. Is Ramonda capable of using the spear? Does Ramonda even have fight skills? If what if is to be believed, at least in one universe she does. Still don't see why though she needed to be coddled more in this situation than she did in Infinity War and Endgame. You out here with all these superheroes, all these crazy beings, all that. I would think that is a far more dangerous situation to be in than the Talokans. I mean, if we talking in terms of comic books, we talking cosmic level threats, we talking global threats. Cosmic trumps global. Okay. Now, my number one question in asking questions that no one wants to answer. Why did no one outside of Wakanda attend T'Challa's funeral? I know what you're saying. I know you're getting ready to go all covert and closed nation on it. Got it. Okay, cool. Now, foreign dignitaries not coming, I can see that. Neighboring countries not coming or being invited, I could see that. But you didn't invite no Avengers, none. You didn't invite Doctor Strange. You didn't invite Wong. You didn't invite Bucky. Y'all didn't invite the White Wolf who hung out and chopped it up with y'all for a while. Didn't invite him. No, you didn't invite Sam Wilson. We give him a jetpack. We give him some wings. We give him a costume, but you're not invited to the funeral. We fought aliens together. You're not invited to the funeral. James Rose wasn't invited to the funeral. If they borders was closed off, is the answer you want to give? Fine, but think about it. Get this man a shield. We invite none of them people. None of them. None. Not even Scott Lang. You ain't invite no. These people help save the universe, not just Wakanda. But you ain't gonna invite them. Got it. Okay. None of those questions seem problematic to you at all. Not a one. Not one gives you pause. Not one question of those questions makes you go, because I got them just the ones I asked. I got a plethora of them. I can bombard you with them. But that's not what this video is about. It's just to make you stop and think. That's it. That's all I got. That's the video. Please, please, please comment, like, subscribe, and share the page with others so that when new material comes out, you get it. I'll be coming at y'all with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Good to each other.